This is QTV Nightly News and I am Loli M. Kamara. Thank you for joining us. Here are the headlines. In a press release on Sunday, the Gambia Police Force announced that one armed robber was shot dead and another injured during an armed robbery in Balangar in the Central River region on Saturday. Dr. Ahmadu Lamin Samate, the Minister of Health, has released a statement in commemoration of World Tuberculosis Day, which is observed annually on March 24th. In an effort to ensure more credible and transparent elections in the Gambia, the Election Watch Committee has called for the removal of the attestation requirement from the Elections Bill 2021. The Criminal Offences Bill 2020, introduced last week by Dr. Dauda Ejalo, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, is currently at the consideration stage in the National Assembly. In 3 joint operations this month led by the Gambia Immigration Department, multiple groups of would-be migrants were intercepted at various locations across the country. Those were the headlines. Now the news in detail. In a press release on Sunday, the Gambia Police Force announced that one armed robber was shot dead and another injured during an armed robbery in Balangar in the Central River region on Saturday. This report by Babukar Sise is narrated by Juldenjai.
During the confrontation, one suspect, identified as Yero Sheikh Sow, a Senegalese national from Brosso in Senegal, sustained a gunshot wound. He was taken to Kauru Health Center before being transferred to Farafenni General Hospital, where he was later pronounced dead. According to the police, the alleged armed robbery targeted 2 shops, one belonging to Hadim Toure and the other to a Mauritanian in Balangar, Kernderi, Central River region, on the evening of March 22, 2025. The police stated that the timely response and coordination between the police and regional sister forces, along with the support and cooperation from the people of Balangar, were crucial in containing the incident. Another suspect, Amadou Ba, a Senegalese national from Sarewuri, was apprehended by villagers. A bag containing over $29,000 and 93,000 CFA was recovered from him. According to the police, Amadou Ba admitted to being part of the armed robbery along with 3 other fugitives, all of whom are Senegalese nationals. The police also stated that Amadou Ba informed them that the hunting gun, which has yet to be recovered, along with 3 live bullets used during the robbery, belonged to the deceased Yero Sheikh Sow. Following the incident, a team of investigators from police headquarters has been dispatched to support the regional response team and assist with the ongoing investigation. As the investigation progresses, the Gambia Police Force urges the public to remain vigilant and report any information that may assist with the investigation. The Gambia Police Force also commends the solidarity demonstrated by the community of Balangar throughout the operation. For QTV News, I am Juldenjai.
Dr. Ahmadu Lamin Samate, the Minister of Health, has released a statement in commemoration of World Tuberculosis Day, which is observed annually on March 24th. Jennifer Sonko has the details.
Tuberculosis is an infectious disease that spreads through the air when individuals with the disease cough, sneeze or spit. Over 80% of TB cases and deaths occur in low and middle income countries, including the Gambia, which reported a total of 2,828 TB cases in 2024, marking a 2% increase from 2023. The Gambia TB Control Program reports that 91% of the cases registered this year were confirmed using WHO-recommended molecular rapid diagnostic tests. Additionally, the recorded treatment success rate stands at 87.2%. Health Minister Dr. Ahmadu Lamin Samata emphasized that TB management strategies being implemented by his ministry to combat the infectious disease.
We have enhanced laboratory capabilities and improved case detection through community-based strategies. Additionally, we are advancing the integration of digital health innovations to facilitate prompt diagnosis and effective treatment. These initiatives underscore the Gambia's status as a model of resilience in the fight against TB.
Theme for this year's World TB Day commemoration is Yes, We Can End TB. Commit, invest, deliver. Minister Samate calls on stakeholders to work towards strengthening national TB control strategies, ensuring that the country's policies are inclusive, data-driven and focused on the needs of the population.
It is imperative to increase funding for TB-related initiatives, investments in innovative diagnostics, effective treatment protocols and preventive measures and vaccine research are critical.
While tuberculosis is curable and its treatment is provided freely in the Gambia, patients face ongoing stigmatization within their communities. This stigma, which unjustly associate them with negative qualities, is a major barrier to the Ministry of Health's efforts, according to the minister.
A critical barrier to progress is the stigma associated with TB. Many individuals suffer in silence, reluctant to seek treatment due to the prevailing societal misconceptions. It is essential that we address this issue by fostering a culture of understanding, support, and solidarity.
The World Health Organization's theme this year is a bold call for hope, urgency, and accountability, holding world leaders to their 2023 UN high-level meeting promises to accelerate efforts against TB. Reporting for KTV News, I am Jenna Basonko.
In an effort to ensure more credible and transparent elections in the Gambia, the Election Watch Committee, ECC, has called for the removal of the attestation requirement from the Elections Bill 2021. The proposal made by Yankuba Manjang, coordinator of the ECC, aims to address voter registration irregularities that could compromise the integrity of future elections. Usman Jata reports.
The 2021 voter registration process raised significant concerns with civil society organizations and election observers, highlighting cases of minors and non-Gambians being registered at certain registration centers.
She was born in Latukunda and the date of birth was 1st June.
Despite these concerns, lawmakers included the attestation requirement for voter registration in the 2021 elections bill. However, Yankuba Manjang, the coordinator of the Election Watch Committee, has urged lawmakers to reconsider this decision in order to prevent future electoral disputes and ensure a more efficient registration process.
We believe, as an observer group, that the issue of attestation should be removed from the current electoral bill that is being discussed in the Assembly, because common sense or mind will not give it to us. For example, people registering from 8 a.m. as issued by IEC to 4 p.m. and no single individual in that community have a voter's card. So they have an ID card or a passport or even a birth certificate. And I'm not talking about a remote village. This happens in one of the village communities, or just to be precise. And this raises serious flags, as red flags, that the elections, there will be potential conflicts in the elections.
Manjang's call comes in light of the Gambia Bureau of Statistics' recent population census, which reports that the country's population has reached 2.4 million as of 2025. He recommended adopting a digitalized voter registration system to streamline the process and prevent potential electoral conflicts.
It's high time that we remove the issue of attestation as part of requirement for people to be registered. The communities are so very big right now that the alcalos, like Mar said, will not be able to confidently say, I know every individual head in my community. We've seen the birth registration that is ongoing. People are going out in mass numbers to have birth certificates, so we can always link up with that one. It's through government. IEC should be able to get that database of all the people with ID card, birth certificates, and be able to come forward and register simply to have their voter's card. As simple as that.
As lawmakers at the National Assembly prepare to resume their review of the elections bill on Tuesday, March 25th, the final decision on the matter will have significant implications for the country's electoral future. Its amendment could also mark a pivotal shift towards a more modern, transparent and efficient electoral system. Osman Chata, reporting for QTV News.
We'll now go for a commercial break. When we return, we have more local news stories. Do stay tuned.
fii mooy fan fii mooy Inessa di place bi nga xam ne moom la ñëpp taam place bii bépp xeetu ataaya bu baax rek bu dugg see ci dëkk bi xamal li fii rek la am baara warga bii neex na lool saf na ba pare tamit nag am gu bu neex boo ko naanee rek da ngay kontaan ci saas añ ba suur ba gëreesal li nga lekk jëndal baara ataaya bii ndax moom la ñëpp taam gis nga sama client bii ataaya bu neex bu ne moom laa koy njëkk a jox ndax moom kat ataaya bu neex rek lay wër baara warga bii mooy warga bi gën te moo gën a saf kon nag ràññee leen ko bu baax kon daw leen gaaw ca Banjul foofu ca Inessa di place bi nga xam ni foofu rek nga ko mën a amee wholesale wala retail mu ngi foofu ci boori court house bi foofu ca Banjul wala nga daw ci bépp marché bépp supermarket bépp boutique fépp foo dugg rek di nga mën a am baara warga bii nga xam ne moom la ñëpp di wër tey baara warga moo dàq ci warga yi man maa ngi ci moom ndax su ma maree ataaya moom rek lay naan.
Q City invites you to a fun-filled second and third day Korite. There'll be great activities and live music with singing and dancing competition for kids. Top artist performances from Hussein Dada, Big Banger, Miss Jobis, Acidic, Malt, and many more. Entrance gate fees is $200 only, and pool $100. Don't miss out. Second and third day of Korite. Only place to be is Q City.
Semfantankano TV lale. TV Wistero Aninga Jararo Gambia Loptanol to Abikajo.
Let's ensure that no child or adolescent's life or future is threatened by TB.
Nena onare TV, hida waidun dandu de fi wata nange. Kono non sitawi nena onare TV hida wondi e mayre hida way nyondare do ender Gambia te ayobata hayfus.
Kala hikana tu nanti jango kebe wati TB. Sahare wadi. Angana kita maga kanu nanti anga kalla. Anatu nanti hage angana daga opitan. Hage gode anta tugana. So kono na tukundu. Kana tukundu kana mogo tukundu nanti TB. Sahare wadi. Angana daga anta hage gode tugana.
TB di jangoro bunyo oye tuberculosis. Munga se fagaru. Te tambit munga se faju su fekene amga ko. Te do si fay dara fi si rewi Gambia.
Being diagnosed with tuberculosis is not a death sentence. The disease is curable. Diagnosis and treatment is absolutely free in the Gambia.
Welcome back, and this is QTV News with me, Loli M. Camera. The Criminal Offences Bill 2020, introduced last week by Dauda A. Jallo, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, is currently at the consideration stage in the National Assembly for deliberations, suggestions and amendments. Momodu Gajaga was at the Assembly chambers today, and he now reports.
The bill, which aims to update the country's criminal justice legislation by removing provisions that hinder freedom of speech, such as criminal defamation and sedition, was discussed by the National Assembly members. They reviewed various clauses of the bill, focusing on the offences and corresponding punishments. Key clauses that sparked discussion and led to proposed amendments from lawmakers included fraud committed by trustees, directors, and officers of corporations or companies who fraudulently appropriated property, as well as attempts to commit arson. Here are Swaibu Ture, the National Assembly member for Wuli East, Bakari Kora, the National Assembly member for Upper Fuledu West, Almami Jiba, the National Assembly member for Funyi Kansala.
Engaging in fraudulent accounts and falsifying accounts, those are serious offenses that can cripple any company.
Yes, 14 years, to me that's too much. Yeah, just an attempt to commit an arson. Yes, just to attempt to commit an arson. 14 years.
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
Chair,
that's for me. That's too
Chair,
much.
I want to give a different view in regard to the sentencing of these years. It happens in our area in Funyi, where out of hate came and burned all the heaps of the groundnut of struggle that we have did for 6-8 months. So I'm suggesting we make it 20 years in prison.
The killing and maiming and wounding here is relating to the burning of the structure. Other causes of injuries and killings of animals is also covered above. Yes. But this one, if it is arising out of the attempt or the burning of the building.
Other clauses of the Criminal Offences Bill 2020 include offences such as forgery, coining, counterfeiting, and similar crimes. In the case of forgery, which is broadly defined, the current punishment is a 7 years prison sentence. Nominated member Keba Langfofana and Lamin Sise, member for Kieng West, proposed suggestions for harsher penalties.
I'm proposing these amendments to say if at all we have amended the punishment of the people who are making the forged banknotes to 14, then the individuals also who are procuring these banknotes should have a similar punishment.
I think this is also very, very small because people can make false documents to generate revenue for themselves on the name of their very institutions or in the name of governments. So I think they can go scot-free. So, but when we get those people, I think we should give them the benefit of the doubt. And people can go ahead and do that. So I think 7 years is too small for that.
The third reading of the Criminal Offences Bill 2020 is scheduled for Friday, the 28th of March, 2025 at the National Assembly, following the completion of the discussions on the various clauses. Umudu Gajaga, QTV News.
In three joint operations this month led by the Gambia Immigration Department, multiple groups of would-be migrants, mostly non-Gambians, were intercepted at Yarambamba, Bijilo Beach and Nyomi in the North Bank region. Ali Sisi has the rest of that story.
One of the intercepted cases took place at a rented three-bedroom apartment in Yarambamba by an agent, a Senegalese, where these 75 will-be migrants were lodged before their possible departure. They are 34 Senegalese, 35 Guinea-Conakry nationals, 4 Gambians, and 2 Bissau Guineans. They include 12 females and 4 minors. Their plans were foiled when officers of the Gambia Immigration Department raided the premises on March 20th, following a tip-up from a neighbor who suspected unusual movements and disturbance in the neighborhood. Here is Siman Law, the public relations officer of the Gambia Immigration Department, providing more information during a media briefing at the Immigration Department School in Tangier on Saturday.
The compound they had stayed is a compound number called 985 plus RV3 that is in Olyundu, Yarambamba. And the compound belonged to a Gambian who's a businessman, but it was rented by a Senegalese called Abdoulaye Diop. And Abdoulaye Diop is also believed to be the organizer of that particular case. But Abdoulaye at this point is on the run, and we would entreat the people out there to be able to support the GID in trying to intercept Abdoulaye while he's fleeing back to Senegal.
PRO also updated the media about a case on March 3rd where a suspected abandoned boat was found along the Bigilo Beach behind Monkey Park. It is believed that the migrants unwillingly returned after an engine failure on the journey around St. Louis, known as Ndar in Senegal.
Now, when they came, over 200 migrants were in this boat, and they had traveled 4 days at sea before they came back to the Gambia. Upon arrival, many of them were found sick and injured, and they had to rush themselves to local hospitals to seek medical attention. The main organizer of this particular suspected intercepted case was Mohamed Jain, who is a Senegalese national. So the case also was very much critical. At the end, we were able to find one dead body in the boat that was also left around the Monkey Park.
Another irregular migration-related case was also reported in Nyomi, following a border patrol by the North Bank Region Unit in Bara. During this exercise, 30 suspected will-be migrants were intercepted and key perpetrators under investigation.
The first culprit is believed to be Lamin Jammeh, a Senegalese national. He was arrested at the Bara car park with an amount of $74,000 seized. Lamin had confessed to acting as a sub-agent and led GID officers to 3 other suspected migrants on the Esau highway. The second person that was also found is Abdoulaye Jahate, commonly called as Papalai. Papalai was found in Bankam village, where he was apprehended as a main agent, and then he had an amount of 1,335,000 CFA in cash with him as well. The other guy, Jahate, had also disclosed that more migrants were in Bakalar village in Nyomi, and under the custody of Alfuseni Sonko, who is a proclaimed Marobo in Bakalar.
PRO Law attributed the recent accomplishments to collaborative efforts of sister forces and the COP Gambia project funded by the European Union and implemented by the Spanish National Police. The immigration spokesperson once again urged the public to compliment the work of the immigration by reporting any suspicious activities. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Sise.
Usman Daw, a Bijilo resident, donated food items worth over $1 million on Sunday to the less fortunate in Bijilo, Kersering and nearby communities as part of his ongoing initiative to support the underprivileged. Usman and Sumana Nyasi report.
During the food distribution, which included rice, cooking oil, chicken and an undisclosed amount for each beneficiary, Imam Ibrahim Tambedu of Masjidul Rasul in Bijilo praised Ndaw for his generosity and urged the public to follow his example of kindness.
Always pray for the one who supports you. This is not the first time he has helped our community. He has installed street lights, repaired the PA system at the mosque, and consistently supports the needy. We pray that Allah blesses him abundantly.
Ngone Jan and Mariama Sedi, both beneficiaries and residents of Kersering, expressed their gratitude to Mr. Ndaw for the generous donation. They emphasized that the support will significantly help provide sustenance for their families.
What he has done this year, I pray that he is able to do even more next year. Usman is truly God sent to us. He has always been supportive to his community. I want to join others in praying for him. He is indeed a good man. This support is timely and will make a huge difference in the lives of all the beneficiaries. Imagine not having enough food this Ramadan and then unexpectedly receiving such support from someone. I can only thank him for continued blessings.
Among those present at the distribution of food items and cash to the beneficiaries were the Alcalo of Kersering, Matar Lum, and the Councillor for Bijilo Ward, Babukar Jaite. Both spoke of the significance of the donation and shared numerous examples of Mr. Ndaw's past interventions and continued support in the community.
I mean, seeing Usman do it for the past 20 years, is something real. And it is good to help the needy. It is good to help the needy. What I normally say is, look at people who you know that you are better off, more better off than them, then you're able to help them. But if you look at those who are better than you, you will not help anybody.
It is never a surprise, for him to do this. And for about 2 decades, he has been rendering support, especially at this time of the Ramadans, to vulnerable peoples within the community. So I'm very much happy to be here and also to pray that God increase, this kind gesture that he has been doing year round.
Usman Ndaw has been supporting the less fortunate in Kersering, its surrounding areas and across the country for many years. He consistently emphasizes that his efforts are fueled by a deep love for community. Answanezo Nyasi for KTV News.
Before we go, here's a recap of the headlines. In a press release on Sunday, the Gambia Police Force announced that one armed robber was shot dead and another injured during an armed robbery in Balangar in the Central River region on Saturday. Dr. Ahmadou Lamin Samate, the Minister of Health, has released a statement in commemoration of World Tuberculosis Day, which is observed annually on March 24th. In an effort to ensure more credible and transparent elections in the Gambia, the Election Watch Committee has called for the removal of the attestation requirement from the Elections Bill 2021. The Criminal Offences Bill 2020, introduced last week by Dauda A. Jallo, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, is currently at the consideration stage in the National Assembly. In 3 joint operations this month led by the Gambia Immigration Department, multiple groups of would-be migrants were intercepted at various locations across the country. That's all for now in this news bulletin. Join us tomorrow at 8 p.m. for another bulletin. Until then, have a good night.